Hey y'all, it's Genesis. I have 7 tips for you on how to go from being a night owl to a early morning girly. Let me just start by saying that I was the biggest night owl ever. I used to produce music, I used to make music. I probably still will in the future, but I'm in nursing school right now, so I don't really have time for that. But I will say, coming from where I've been to where I am now, huge difference. I went to sleep probably like around 4 a.m. every single day. Woke up like at 11 or 12 a.m. or p.m. I always had a burst of energy just at night only for some weird reason where I just wanted to be creative. But there had to come a time where I had to just grow up. Not to say that it's immature to be a night owl, but for the things that I had to get done and accomplish, I had to become a morning girl. I always felt like there was not enough time in the day to do all those things. But ever since I started to wake up early, like now I'll wake up at 7 a.m. When I'm in nursing school, I do wake up at 6, but for clinicals, I have to wake up at 3:30 a.m. I would have not been able to do that at all if I was old me, but the new me is a morning girly. And I can definitely say that it has made a huge difference in my life. It's weird how I'm not always in a hurry now, how I'm always really getting things done, how at the end of the day I feel so accomplished. I feel so much more productive, and really I'm sleeping the same amount, but I'm just making it early. So I just finished my first semester of nursing school and I got A's and B's, and I am very proud of myself because that took a lot of discipline, but time management is everything. So this is what I did. I'm telling you, when I say this is a miracle, this is a miracle. This would have never been me ever in a million years before. So number 1, I haven't been doing this on my winter break because I'm just chilling right now and it's not as strict. But when I started to make things work for me in nursing school, and what I'm gonna have to start doing again once I go into the new semester, is set a timer every night on when you should finish up what you're doing and start getting ready for bed. No matter what I was doing, homework, whatever I was doing, I had my timer for 8:30 p.m. and when that timer went off, it always caught me off guard because you always feel like you still have so much more to do, like it's never enough. But that timer to me was like okay, Jen, you gotta relax. You gotta let go. You gotta just like wind down. I really had to like force myself with everything I had in me to just, this is gonna be my last one, or I'm just gonna finish this one up and then go, or just save it for tomorrow. And this is gonna be really hard to do at first because you're most likely gonna start everything just late. If you're already waking up late, if you're doing everything late, you're gonna start everything late and it's not gonna be enough time. But trust me, it's not an L, it's a win if you honored the timer, and just move along and finish it tomorrow. Number 2, wake up early even if you didn't fall asleep early, and even if you're a zombie the whole next day. This one was really tough. I remember the first 2 weeks of nursing school, I'd have to wake up at 6 a.m. every day, and coming from someone who woke up like 6 hours later, that's a huge difference. My advice is to set your set your timer at the same time every single day. In the beginning, like the first 2 weeks, this is going to be brutal. And I know it's easier said than done, trust me. Like the first 2 steps are the hardest ones. If you can just get through that and try to be as consistent as possible for at least 2 weeks, you're gonna be fine for the rest of the time. It's not gonna be that hard anymore. But the first 2 weeks, I can assure you, you will feel like a zombie. You're gonna feel like you can't concentrate, like you wanna take a nap. You're like, it's gonna take everything in you, and caffeine will be your best friend. And that's okay to lean on caffeine. I really relied on caffeine to try to get my cycle straight. I became like a coffeeholic during that time. But when that caffeine crashed, I had to crash too. And do this even on your days off if you can. Try to stick as much as you can with the consistency, or else it's just gonna set you back when you have to go back and wake up early for the next sequence of days. So yeah, so even on my days off, I would still set my alarm for 6:30, just 30 minutes later, and I would get my booty to the gym. By like 7:30, I was like in there working out already. And I got my workouts done so early, and I've never felt more productive ever in my life. And by the time it got to 8:30, 8:30 or 9, I was already done with my workout, when before I would still be asleep by then. So recommend that, and you're going to feel so good about getting stuff done that you're gonna be like on a high. It's hard discipline at first, but trust me, it pays off and you're gonna feel really good about yourself. My third tip is melatonin. So definitely talk to your doctor if this is even okay for you to take. I don't know if it's okay for just everybody to take, but I took melatonin at the same time. Okay, I'm not gonna say every single night, but most nights for at least the first 2 weeks. I'm telling you, 2 weeks is kind of like the golden time frame for me to really set a habit. It could be 3 weeks mostly for a lot of people, but however long it takes for you to feel like you're getting sleepy at the time that you should be starting to wind down already. I would take melatonin about as soon as I went to bed, so around 9:30. I would be in bed, and when I'm in bed, I like to write, script, meditate, go on social media. Have a timer for that, by the way. Actually, that should be another tip. Okay, that's another tip. As far as social media is a black hole, okay? If you go on there at night and there's no timer for you, then you're setting yourself up for failure for that night, and you are going to be very disappointed in yourself after you're done scrolling away for hours. It's just gonna set you back. So please, because I love TikTok, trust me, I am a TikTok fiend. I could be on TikTok for hours on end, but the way I was able to survive not getting into a black hole but still getting my fix at the end of the night for social media is I would set a timer. The timer could look like anything for you, but for me, I would set a timer for 5 minutes on Instagram and then 5 minutes on TikTok. Honestly, I know that's not a lot. If you really think that's not gonna satiate your fix, do 10 minutes. Do a 10-minute timer on Instagram and then 10-minute timer on TikTok. But for me, because I had so much to do throughout the day and I had really little time of free time at the end of the night, I just did 5 minutes, and then once the timer went off, then I would finish up the message I was sending or finish up the video or the scrolling, and that really helped me with just seeing, okay, like I'm done. And it goes by really fast, to be honest, but it really just shows you how fast time flies when you're just scrolling on social media. So it's good to have a timer just to keep you on track so you don't just get lost in the videos and in the content, because that could be a never-ending black hole. So that is actually one of my most important tips. My next tip, number 5 now, is take cat naps. Like I was saying before, when I was just getting adjusted to the new schedule and I got home from school after a long day, there was no way I could just come home and just start studying after I ate and everything. After you eat especially, it hits you. Like the sleep hits you and all you can think about is just like your pillow. And I embraced it because the more I fought it, before I was just like, no, I need more coffee. I need more coffee. I'm gonna have like an espresso shot. Like, I don't know what I gotta do, but I gotta stay up because I have so much work to do. But even when I did that and I was hyper focused on what I was reading, I was rereading the same thing like 20 times, or nothing was really retaining in my head because I was just so sleepy, and everything was taking like 3 times longer to do than if I were to just be rejuvenated and refreshed because I was rested and clear-headed. I did take naps in the beginning. I just had to. Go take a nap, even 10 minutes. That makes a whole world of a difference. If you're like me and it kind of takes you a while to fall asleep, you just have so much on your mind, even if you just close your eyes and rest your eyes for 30 minutes or however long you need, if it's an hour, come back to work, you still will feel 10 times better. Sometimes that's really all you need. My next tip is going to be no caffeine for at least 6 hours before bedtime. So mine was 10 p.m. So I would make sure that I had no caffeine or no pre-workouts after 4 p.m. For some people that's earlier. So however sensitive you are to caffeine, for me, like 6 hours was like cool enough and I would still be able to go to sleep. I heard somewhere that it takes caffeine like 6 hours to be like metabolized out of your system. I'm not sure if that holds true, but for me, it really is like 6 hours. So as soon as it hits 4 p.m., like even if I had half of my coffee left or my tea or whatever, I had to stop. I would take like my last sip right before 4 and then I had to throw it away or save it for tomorrow if it's still gonna be good. But yeah, I definitely recommend no caffeine after 4 p.m. Trust me. My last and final tip, which is my 7th tip now, recalibrate yourself before actually trying to fall asleep. So for me, if I just went to bed and I was like, okay, I need to go to sleep. I'm a moon in Gemini. My mind is crazy. My mind is mentally stimulated constantly. I have 1,000 thoughts going like 100 miles per hour. I am very wired normally in my head. So me trying to just fall asleep in the quietness, my mind is loud. So it takes me a while to fall asleep, but I do notice when I meditate, even if it's a 5-minute meditation before I try to go to sleep, I fall asleep so much faster and it's crazy. Like, it's like a miracle. I was going through a time where I was reading, oh my God, what's that book called? I'll put a pop-up right here. But I was reading this book, or I was listening to it, and it's like really huge on meditation. So I was inspired to meditate every night. It pretty much teaches you to quiet your mind and just not think of anything and just feel yourself. Really try to just mute everything out. When I did that and I put my timer on, and even if it was like 5 or 10 minutes, it's recommended to do at least 15, but work up to it if you can't, because it's harder than it seems to just sit there and not think of anything. But so I did that. I found that I could fall asleep so much faster right after I meditated, or even if you do breathing relaxation techniques right before you're trying to go to sleep, that honestly, it just puts you in like, I don't know what kind of like endorphins, what kind of hormones get released from your body when you do breathing exercises, but you get like this high, you get this instant like full body relaxation, and you're just in a whole different state because you're wired. You're like all the way up here during the day trying to get stuff done. How are you supposed to just like and then go to sleep? Like, it doesn't work that way. You have to recalibrate your mind, body, soul, and just unwind. And it's hard to do just alone, but if you meditate or do breathing relaxation techniques beforehand, it will help you significantly. So like all those combined, you're gonna fall asleep quick. You're gonna be out like a light. But yeah, that is how I was able to overcome being a night owl for 30 years of my life to now being a early morning girly. And I'm 10 times more productive. I get stuff done way more, and I feel like I actually have time to do things. I can take my time. I'm not always in a rush, and I'm actually enjoying the journey of what I'm trying to accomplish, which right now it's nursing school. It's just not as stressful because I've been able to be more efficient with what I do. You know what they say, work harder, not smarter. So this is a huge factor in what will help you propel in what you're trying to do. I hope that helped you guys. And if you guys like my content, I post a lot of nursing content, but also vegan fitness, plant lifestyle, and beauty. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.